Hello, welcome to Dungeoneers Pack, a channel bringing you player-focused discussions and character guides for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. My name is Josh, thank you for watching. In this video, I'm introducing a new series for the channel that puts an emphasis on party compositions. My goal is to provide some direction for your party to find cohesion through mechanics or theme. For this video, I'm presenting a 4-person team that features mechanics that can manipulate the results of the die. The abilities are powerful enough on their own, but when used together, the party can punch above their weight. When putting this team together, the goal was to try and cover the usual in and out of combat roles in a party in addition to their synergistic abilities. If you want to know more about how I define party roles in 5th edition, I have a video for you that you can check out. A link can be found in the top right corner of the video or in the description below. Each member of the team is able to manipulate the d20 directly or influence the result of the roll. Individually, they can all do this through features in their class or subclass. And while each ability is intended to push chance into your favor, when using them together, chance is nearly removed from the equation and your team will achieve for the most part the desired result. Now let's take a look at which 4 classes and their subclasses make up this party composition. Taking up the role of the party face is the College of Lore Bard. Equipped with Jack of all trades, expertise, and a spell list that can be expanded with magical secrets, the Bard is a perfect out-of-combat troubleshooter, able to use skill proficiencies to overcome most situations, and when they can't, they can just cast some spells instead. They are on this team due to their ability to manipulate the outcome of die results with the cutting words and bardic inspiration features. Filling the divine support caster role in the party is the Peace Domain Cleric. With their extensive spell list, they can also fill in as a party troubleshooter, able to help solve issues especially when they concern the undead. This cleric is on the team for the exact same reasons as the College of Lore Bard. The Bless spell and Emboldening Bond feature helps manipulate the outcome of die results in your favor. No team is complete without a good tanky frontliner, so on this team we have the Rune Knight Fighter. They are the party muscle, able to bring the pain with Giant Smite, but also have some utility with their rune options. They are on this team because their Storm Rune feature allows them to influence dice rolls in combat. And the last member of this team is the Clockwork Soul Sorcerer, which will have a flexible combat role either being a support or blaster. They can also act as a backup for the party's face. Even with the limited pool of spells, meta magic allows a player to be creative and use spells in different ways. Their Restore Balance ability secures them a spot in this party as it removes the increased likelihood of success or failure for d20 rolls. Now that we know our team, let's take a look at how their abilities can be used together. The first combo helps players beat the DC. The Peace Domain Cleric is already potent, pulling off this combo entirely on their own as they can use Emboldening Bond and Bless together to provide additional d4s to party members to help land attacks, beat saves, or make skill checks. With that said, when pairing this solo combo with the Lore Bard's Bardic Inspiration, it becomes outright ridiculous. 2 d4s plus the Bardic Inspiration die and the result of our d20 roll makes it highly likely that a player will succeed, and that's not even including any modifiers in that equation. Barring an unfortunate set of rolls from the dice at the same time, you or your teammates will beat any difficulty check that comes your way. The Rune Knight Fighter's Storm Rune can also be tossed into the mix of this combo, with the obvious choice to toss Bardic Inspiration or the d4s from Bless or Emboldening Bond on top of the advantage granted by the Storm Rune ability to really make sure you're making your saves or landing your attacks. Another play to consider is to use the Storm Rune to negate disadvantage on an attack or save that an ally of yours may have to make. Doing this in addition to adding Bardic Inspiration or the d4s from Emboldening Bond or Bless immediately turn a terrible situation into a winning one. The same tactic can be made using the Clockwork Soul Sorcerer's Restore Balance feature in place of the Storm Rune from the Rune Knight. The next combos are all about directly affecting the attacks of your enemies, either by messing with their accuracy or mitigating their damage. This section is called Shields Are Up. The Clockwork Soul Sorcerer's Restore Balance feature proves its versatility as we can use it in an offensive manner by stripping advantage away from our enemy's attack rolls or any saving throws they make. Pairing this ability with the Lore Bard's Cutting Words feature is just insult to injury as we remove any likelihood of our enemy's success. Removing their advantage and reducing their result can easily turn the tides of battle, keeping an ally on the verge of death from being struck or landing that critical control spell to stop the enemy in their tracks. In a similar fashion, we can pair the Rune Knight Fighter's Runic Shield feature with Cutting Words as well. We can force an enemy to reroll an attack roll and then reduce the result with Cutting Words. This combo isn't as powerful as others in this video, but can be quite useful in niche situations like forcing a reroll after an enemy gets a natural 20 and their follow-up roll will still hit. This last featured combo is all about mitigating and redirecting damage and can be done with everyone in the party. The Cloud Rune from the Rune Knight Fighter and the Protective Bond feature from the Peace Domain Cleric do very similar things. They allow for damage from an attack to be directed to another target. When used with the Clockwork Soul Sorcerer's Bastion of Law feature or the Lore Bard's Cutting Words feature, not only will they be able to redirect the damage to another ally, we can also reduce that damage. Both Bastion of Law and Cutting Words lower the total damage taken, but the big difference comes in the total amount that can be reduced. Cutting Words can protect against a small amount of damage, while Bastion of Law can mitigate a greater amount depending on how many sorcery points are spent to generate the dice pool. With that said, now let's take a look at the pros and cons of this party composition. Let's start with the pros. This team is heavier on the spellcasting side, so they will have access to a variety of spells for many situations. Between the Cleric's extensive spell list, the Bard able to cherry pick spells from any spell list with magical secrets, and the Sorcerer able to manipulate any spell they cast with meta magic, there shouldn't be any problem you can't solve. Much of the die manipulation this party can do is entirely defensive and makes them quite resilient. The die manipulation also makes this party capable of controlling the flow of combat. They are able to reliably land their attacks while stripping the enemy's potential to land theirs. Now let's take a look at some cons. This party will probably frustrate your dungeon master. Admittedly, using all these abilities in conjunction can derail plans or encounters for even the most experienced DMs. Talk with your DM and the rest of the table to come to an understanding so that everyone has an enjoyable time. This team is spellcaster heavy, with all 3 spellcasters potentially overlapping into a supportive combat role. In addition to this, since the party is dominated by spellcasters, most of them will sit in the backline or mid-range away from the fighter. Depending on spacing, you may struggle with pulling off some of these combos, so be mindful of where you place yourself. Now let's quickly take a look at some options to consider that can either enhance this team or just didn't make the cut. These are my honorable mentions. A lineage option to consider to add to the dice manipulation theme would be the Halfling due to their lucky trait. Being able to reroll a 1 on a d20 can further protect the party from failure, acting like advantage in this situation. Speaking of Halfling, I'd also consider the Bountiful Luck racial feat so that we can spread the effects of the lucky trait to another party member for a roll. It would be a mistake to not mention the lucky feat, as it is extremely powerful with the features showcased in this video. This feat is downright powerful alone, and when used in conjunction with any of the features that mitigate disadvantage, it leaves no room for failure. Unfortunately, the School of Divination Wizard didn't make the cut despite the Portent feature fitting with the theme of this team. Portent is a great ability but doesn't combo well with the features the rest of the team has, and that is due to a clarification issue with just how Portent works. The 2018 errata to the advantage and disadvantage rules makes it unclear whether Portent replaces the results of all the die rolled when having advantage or disadvantage, or replaces a singular die of your choice. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section regarding this issue. Despite this, the Divination Wizard makes a great 5th member to this party, and similarly, the Chronogy Wizard does as well. With that said, I want to hear from you. What do you think of this new series? Let me know if you like this team composition, and also let me know of other combos that I might have missed down in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, and if you want to see more content like this, I drop a video every week, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Alright, I'm out of here. Have a good one.